Hello everyone. We're about to get underway. Let me just make sure my stream is in the chat for everyone to see. ESRL and commentator stream. Looks like we're about to get underway. Hello Lifebout, welcome to the stream. It's sure to be a good one. It is the race finale of ESRL Season 2. There's no championships to fight for. The Constructors has been won by Red Bull and the Drivers has been won by the utterly dominant NER Ayrton, but there are still championship places to fight for. There's still a race win to fight for at the iconic Interlagos circuit. I think everyone is going to be wanting to win it. That might be why we have a reduced driver count today, because both championships are settled, but doesn't matter. All we want is a good race, and ESRL always produces. And apologies for the burp. But yeah, I'm very much looking forward to this. And here we are at the Brazil circuit. Did 5 laps, so well prepared. Brazil's alright. It's not too bad a track actually, with no line, no rain. Thank you for that. So dry and dry, always good. But yeah, Brazil isn't too bad for no line. It's pretty forgiving, and most of the track is sort of very intuitive braking zones. There's only like sort of 3 or 4 that you have to actually learn, and the rest is pretty intuitive, and even the turn-ins are pretty intuitive, so it's not too bad. Not like somewhere like Baku, where every single corner is hell without the line, or Mexico. Yeah, that's another good call. But yeah, H. Geno is the first man out on track. We know he's quick. He hasn't been here for much of the season, unfortunately, but it's good to see him today. I'm sure we'll see him fighting for a front row position on qualifying, maybe second or third, but I'm sure he'll be up there. We'll ride on board with him throughout his lap. He's out on the mediums. I need to get all of my telemetry and data up. I'm sorry about that. There we go. Okay. So I'm going to switch to leader. I'm going to try that out. H. Geno, here he goes on the medium tyres. Speed Alcoholic also on the medium. Speed is one to watch on this track. He loves this track. And his tyre management around here in particular is absolutely insane. So do watch Speed Alcoholic. Scott and Neil also on the mediums. But here comes H. Geno into turn 1. You've got to set it up well for turn 2 and 3, because you're all the way out onto this long straight. If you get a bad entry into turn 2, it's going to cost you all the way down this DRS straight up towards this corner break at the 50 board just before, maybe, because H. Geno's gone a bit wide. He comes into turn 4 and 5, and now to turn 6. Brake at the 50 board, or maybe just afterwards, and then accelerate in 6th gear all the way down to the next corner. It's a slow right-hander, and then this one as well is really hard to get right. And it's hard to get out on exit, as H. Geno has a bit of a tank slapper to prove it. And now he comes into turn 10 to the right-hand side. It's a slow one, and then flat out you should be through turn 11 up towards the final actual corner of the racetrack. We don't count these ones because you're flat out and it's pretty much straight, but here comes H. Geno. It's looked like a decent lap. Can be difficult on the mediums to get it together, but it looks okay. Down towards the line, the initial pace is a 1 minute 8.4 on the mediums. That's a pretty good lap actually from the Alfa Romeo. Hello Amir, welcome in. Good luck for today. I see you on the medium tyres there. Let's ride on board with Speed Alcoholic, because we know how quick he is around this track. Well, I do. I certainly know how quick he is around this track. APPF1, he has always been unbeatable around Brazil. And honestly, Ayrton is going to have to pull out all the stops to beat him, as Ayrton 2 in the Ferrari does an 8.2, and just as I big up Speed Alcoholic, I have commentators cursed him. He's gone for a spin. He's got to be careful not to hit anyone who's on a lap. It looks like he's going to be fine. Amir's coming through. Hopefully doesn't get held up by the Mercedes. He shouldn't be. He's on an out lap anyway. Let's ride on board with Avi. He's invalidated, so never mind. Moti Pedets is 6 tenths down. Ayrton 2 only 2 tenths ahead of H. Geno, despite the Alfa Romeo being on mediums, so that was a really good lap from H. Geno actually. Neil is on a lap. Here comes Scott as well, the league admin, but he is not on a lap. That's 1 minute 50, so he's made a mistake somewhere on that lap. He's going to be going again. Talking for medium tyres, it's Amir. Here he is, through turn 3 and up towards turn 4. DRS open all the way down to the 50 board. Simps has joined in, so we're going to have 15 drivers today, which is good to see. Amir going through turns 4 and 5 up towards turn 6. The right-hander, very fast corner, very difficult to get perfectly right. He's done decently. As to the right-hander, and then the left. Very slow corner, and you always want to accelerate out of it, but you've just got to wait longer and longer than you think. And then you've got to be careful not to have a tank slapper as well. Amir, this looks pretty good from Amir though, as he comes down to the final real corner, and now onto the long straight, hug the inside line. We'll see him get close to the wall. Avi's done a 7.6, so that's much better. In terms of lap time, Amir does an 8.6, so 3 tenths off the pace of H. Geno, who we've got to compare him with because they're both on the mediums. H. Geno has switched onto the softs. Lifebout has gone into P2 with, that looks like an 1 minute 8.1, 5 tenths off Avi 84, who's definitely set the pace for now. Speed Alcoholic, I told you to keep an eye on him. He's a 1/10.5 ahead of H. Geno on the same tyre. He's made that lap work this time, and I'm sure we'll see him go onto the softs and go for pole later on. Sicario goes up to P3 as well. Welcome H. Geno to the chat as well. It's a good lap from you on the mediums to start off with. Who else have we got? We've got Womax in the Williams. He's about to start a lap. Someone else has just joined the lobby. I think that was... has Simps already joined? I'm not sure. Well, we've got 16 drivers now, which is good. Speed Alcoholic gets a 5th place grid penalty for illegal blocking against the Alpine of Myra, which seems harsh given that Myra is on an out lap. Unless Myra took damage, I assume that must have been what happened. Let's have a look at that Alpine. Is there any damage to it? This is a great shot, by the way, on that right-hander. Doesn't look like there's any damage to the Alpine. That seems harsh. That does seem harsh. Womax now coming through. This left-hander lifts off a little bit. Doesn't want to take any chances, but ideally you want to be flat out through turn 11 there. As the Williams driver comes down to the line, it will be a 1 minute 8.4 for the Williams, puts in P7, splits the two medium runners of Geno and Amir, but Geno is out on the softs, so let's ride on board with him again, the Alfa Romeo, as he challenges for pole position. He's got to make up 0.8 of a second. That's much better through turn 1 than he did on the mediums. And now through turn 3, all the way, hug the inside line, lose as little time as possible to the wide line. He's a 1/10.5 up already through sector 1. I think we're going to see that increase exponentially as he comes through sector 2, the slow section of track, where the grippier tyres are going to help you that much more. Through the right-hander and down towards the slow section of the track. All the way around this corner, you've got to wait and wait and wait, but he's done well there. No tank slapper this time from H. Geno as he comes through the last section of track. There's a tank slapper though, I've cursed him again. As he comes through the next corner, he has invalidated as well. It just went a bit too deep, tried to commit to the flat out section of track, and it's cost him. Ayrton 2 has gone into P6, but Myra, by the way, you just saw, has gone into provisional pole with a 7.5, just 0.05 of a second ahead of the Red Bull of Avi 84, but I think we'll see those times tumble down as Speed Alcoholic is getting ready to come out on track. But of course that 5th-place grid penalty is going to cost him hugely, actually, as we wait to see him come out on the track. Ayrton 2 coming into the pits, so I'm on board with the champion-elect. It's NER Ayrton, but he's gone into the pits, so he's not going to be setting a lap either. Just a little bit of a sightseer, I guess, for the AlphaTauri. Maybe he's going to try a last to first challenge again. I think he'll regret that though with Speed Alcoholic on the circuit, because again, we know how fast he is. Lifebelt still sitting pretty in P3, by the way. He's invalidated that lap, so he'll be annoyed about that, but he's doing well at the moment in that Haas. Rick is on a lap as well as Simps. We've got to keep an eye on these two. Rick is actually catching up to the McLaren. A little bit of a wobble out of that left-hander, and now into turn 10 and 11. Flat out is he going to be? He lifts off a tiny bit just to get round, but that's not too bad at all from the Dutchman as he comes down to the line. Purple Sector 2, we don't trust Purple Sector 2s on F1 2021 though. One of the many bugs in this game, but Simps comes across the line for P9 and Rick comes across the line for P4, just a 10th behind H. Geno for now, so that's a good lap from the Dutchman actually. Purple Sector 3 is something we do trust. Avi goes even faster though and beats Myra back onto that provisional pole position. That's a 10th between them now, so these two trading times at the moment. H. Geno has gone up into P3 as we saw. He's about 4/10 down though. Amir has gone up into P3 on those soft tyres. I think H. Geno can go a lot faster than that. The second lap on those tyres will have cost him some performance. Speed Alcoholic is on a lap as well though. We've got to watch him as he comes in through Sector 1. How much better is he going to be through here? We know how good he is at this track. Sporting a very lovely pink and white helmet. I do like that from Speed. That's really nice. But he's 2.5 tenths faster through Sector 1 alone. And here he comes to Sector 2 now. If he can nail this part of the track, he will take provisional pole. But remember, he has that 5-place grid penalty. Deserved or not, it is going to cost him. And he's going to start at best P6 for this race. Maybe a bit distracted by the Red Bull there because he wasn't ideal through that corner. Flat out through turn 11, 7/10 up nearly on his previous best. But he invalidates at the last corner. Disaster for the Mercedes. There's plenty of time left in the session, but that was looking like a flyer of a lap. Let's look and see what it would have been. It would have been a 7.428. It would have put him on provisional pole. So that's very disappointing for the South African, because he needs to make up as many places as possible. The champion-elect is out on track again on the medium tyres. It's NER Ayrton. Where's he going to put his car on the mediums, I wonder? We've seen that he's a lot faster than most of the drivers on this grid. all season that has been the case. He comes around on those medium tyres, hugs the inside of that left-hander. He comes down towards turn 10, maybe a little bit deep, but as he comes through turn 11 now, down towards the final corner. He's purple through sector 2, but we don't trust those. Down towards the final section of the track, just a long straight, hug the inside line. Fast as you can, down to the line, hug the wall, and it's a 7.7 on the mediums, only 3/10 off provisional pole for now for NER Ayrton. And as expected, he has absolutely blitzed that one. Avi is still on provisional pole for now. There's 5 minutes left in this session. Wimax is invalidated, unfortunately, as has Ayrton too. Speed Alcoholic is just slowly making his way around the circuit. I'm not sure what South African's doing there, but here comes Nath Clark. He's invalidated just as I go on board with him, so sorry about that, Nath Clark. That's probably my fault. Scott is around 2 seconds down on the pole time. I'm sure he'll be looking to improve as well. He's on an outlap at the moment. Zuba can't join. I wonder if I can invite you, mate. So it's a blue screen, everyone. See if I can get Zuba in the lobby. Right. I sent you an invite, mate. Hopefully you can get it. Nath Clark heading into the pits, so he's going to put on a new set of tyres and go out one last time. There's 4 minutes left in this session. Myra and Amir on outlaps, looking to take that provisional pole from Avi, who's still in the pits for now, but I'm sure we'll see him out on track again. Sicario has invalidated. Ayrton 2 is coming across the line. He improves quite a lot, up to P5 from the Ferrari. Great stuff from him. But the game is just rubbish. Oh, sorry, man. Try restarting your game. Or if you can't get in, that really sucks. Because it's been a while since I've seen you in ESRL. I'd love to see you back on the grid, but yeah, F1 2021. Thank you, Codemasters, once again. Myra comes through now on what should be one of the last laps of the session for the Alpine. Only 3 minutes to go. Half a tenth down in sector 1, so not the greatest start to the lap for Myra. The Finn looking for another race win, of course. They've had one this season already, and would not be surprised to see them get another. Very fast and consistent driver. Could easily have been 2 race wins this season. Should have won Baku, arguably, but the poor ERS management cost the Finn that particular race. 0.04 of a second up on the previous best through sector 2. But it's not going to be enough to challenge for pole unless the final corner is an absolute doozy from the Alpine. Here they come to the line. It's a 7.455. It is enough. Wow, what a final corner from Myra. 0.08 of a second ahead of Avi. Can Amir do anything? No, 4 seconds down, so Amir will be going again. H. Geno as well will be going again. Here we go. Sector 1, what's the time going to be for the Alfa Romeo? All right on board. It's a 1/10.5 up, so keep an eye on this Alfa Romeo. Avi is retired from the session. I don't know where that is. That looks like at turn 2, actually. I wonder if we can get a look. It's right on board with Nath Clark. There is the stricken Red Bull has just dropped it at turn 2. So Avi will not be challenging for pole. And if it ends like this, with 0.08 being the gap, what a qualifying session it would be. Here comes H. Geno now, around the last few corners of sector 2. up to the line of the sectors, 2.5 tenths up. Can H. Geno take provisional pole here? It's a purple sector 2, which we do trust on anything other than the first lap, I believe. I think that's how the glitch works anyway. But here comes the Alfa Romeo up to the line. It's going to be very close and takes pole by 25 thousandths of a second. Look how close those times are. Less than half a tenth between the top three. But what can Speed Alcoholic do? Because he's on an outlap as well. Right on board with the South African in the Mercedes. I'm sure he's going to be wanting to challenge for pole position, but he's got to be careful not to invalidate, because if he finishes where he is, he will finish. He will start the race in last position because of that 5-place grid penalty. Round he comes through turn 4. Looked okay, but could have been a little bit further towards the inside as the Mercedes comes round the right-hander and up towards the slow section of the track. Hopefully this Ferrari doesn't get in his way. I don't know who that is. Is that Moti? It is Moti Perez. So hopefully Moti doesn't get in Speed's way, but already that dirty air is going to cost the Mercedes. You can see going a bit deep there as here comes the South African. Simps takes pole with a 7.3, beats them by a tenth, but Speed is 9 tenths up on his previous lap. Here he comes up to the line. Moti is actually inadvertently going to give him a slipstream, and I think we're going to see Speed Alcoholic onto pole position to steal it from Simps. Here he comes. It's a 7.001 from the Mercedes. As predicted, he takes pole position, but he's going to drop to P6 with that penalty, deserved or not. H. Geno is not going to challenge, and neither is anyone else, unless Rick can do something. A 7.9 from the Williams puts him in P9. So Speed Alcoholic takes pole in a dramatic qualifying session in Brazil. But of course, he is going to drop 5 places for illegally blocking Myra. Whether that was fair or not, I'm not sure. I'm sure we'll see what he has to say about it in chat. P11 for Lifebelt, strategic pole for the Dutchman. What a lap from Speed. H. Geno, you have absolutely no idea. This man is a god at this track, trust me. He's insane around here. And he's not just fast, his tyre management is ridiculous. So even starting from P6, I've got to fancy him to win this race. Having seen him on this track before, he is absurd on this track. But it will be that for qualifying. Speed Alcoholic on pole, but of course he will drop to P6 after that penalty. So Simps will take the pole position. The fellow South African, actually, I don't know if that flag is legitimate, but if it is, that is cool. H. Geno, P3, good lap from the Alfa Romeo with Myra in P4. Look how close these times are between these three, H. Geno, Myra and Avi. Amir a little way off in P6. Ayrton, the champion-elect, in P7 on the medium tyres, so watch him as well. Ayrton, oh, and he'll be starting right next to Speed. Ayrton 2 in P8, the Greek driver doing well there. Rick P9, Sicario P10, and then Lifebout, Womax, Neil, Scott, Moti Perez, and who was that at the back? It was Nath Clark at the back, that was it. Not setting a time. Ayrton on the alternate strategy. It's very good around this track. It is good, but I think Speed is better. I've seen Speed around this track. You guys have no idea. He's ridiculous around here. But we shall see. Anything can happen in racing, of course. As we wait for the race to get underway. Anyone in chat, if you've got any podium predictions, I'd love to hear them. Oh, hang on. Disable live timing. I'm accidentally recording this race on my APP F1 racing tool, league tool rather. How much fuel? I don't know. I think more than you think, if I remember rightly. Yeah, more than you think. I think 1.8 over, I reckon. A bit late now. As we get underway for the formation lap, Simps will lead us off, of course. Around the Interlagos circuit. Predicted pit stop strategy apparently is a soft medium. No, no it isn't. Two stop is not what you want to be doing today. Simps is rocking the classic no helmet style. In that McLaren. We've got a big gap between Speed and everyone else on this formation lap. I don't know how excited Ayrton will be about that, given that he's on the medium tyres and it's going to affect him a lot more. Let's see who we've got on the mediums. We've got Lifebout Womax, Scott and Nath Clark all opting for the alternate strategy on the mediums. Neil and Moti Peretz on the softs outside of the top 10. Hello Zach, welcome in. Good to see you. Should be a good race today, always is around Interlagos, especially with a league like ESRL. We're about to get underway for the Brazilian Grand Prix, the final race of Season 2 of ESRL. No championships to fight for, both already decided, but that's not going to mean the racing is going to be any less exciting as we line up on the grid to get ready for the race. Here we go. Here we go. 3, 4, 5 red lights. And we're underway. They held for a while, but we're off for the Brazilian Grand Prix. It's a good start from Simps, but even better from H. Geno. He's already alongside, but Simps breaks very late into turn 1. Is H. Geno going to be able to make a move back around the outside of turn 2? Yes, he is. He's got the inside for turn 3. They're both using ERS. Nearly contact between them. They're still side by side running into turn 4, but Simps has gotten the pace. H. Geno has backed off, and Speed Alcoholic already up to P5 meanwhile. He's just staying on the track there as he gets past Amir. Amir tries to look for a way past, but no cigar for him. NER Ayrton still down in P7 and under pressure from Ayrton 2 actually, who had a little battle there. H. Geno has left the session. Oh no, disaster. He's disconnected and he's going to drop all the way down. Oh no, he's had a spin actually, so that'll be why. And he's just Moti Peretz has gotten caught up in that as well. Ghosting is off in ESRL, remember. Here comes Speed Alcoholic, who's already up into P4 thanks to that though, and he's going to be challenging Avi really quickly for the last spot on the podium. Simps has already gotten a 1.3 second gap to Myra up ahead, and Avi is just over a second behind as well. Speed Alcoholic is going to be looking to overtake Avi as soon as he can, but he's going to find it tricky without the DRS. Here he goes in towards turn 4. Turn 3 all the way around, but he's not close enough to make the move yet. Is Amir going to try anything down the inside into turn 4 to help out his teammate? No, he's not. He's just going to sit back and stay sensible as Speed Alcoholic tries to chase after the leaders. Keep an eye on him. As I say, he is a monster at this track. I would not be surprised to see him get all the way back up. Myra's closed that gap back down to 1.2 seconds. Lifebout gets past Scott further back. H. Geno's Wi-Fi has gone. No, you hate to see it. So yeah, it must have been a spin as a result of the Wi-Fi going. So that's such a shame for the Alfa Romeo and Moti Peretz as well, who didn't deserve to get caught up in that. Womax has already gotten himself a 3-second time penalty. As we look at position changes, can we see? Yes, we can. 7 places up from Nath Clark, who we're riding on board with right now. He's going to try and make a move on Ayrton too, but just not close enough at the moment. Unless he can late break it into turn 1, he's not going to be able to do that. So good start from the Haas. Absolutely fantastic start, in fact. But now it's going to be more difficult to make his way further up. Rick having a look to get past Amir. NER Ayrton. He's looking very good, the Williams. Actually, Nath Clark does get past the Ferrari eventually with the DRS, I assume, into turn 4. And now Speed Alcoholic is still on the back of Avi, and Simps's gap has come back down. So clearly the pace is pretty similar between these three. The Speed Alcoholic is going to be breathing down their necks the whole time. Avi needs to stay within a second of Myra, otherwise he is going to be eaten up into turn 1. He has stayed within a second, so crucial stuff from the Red Bull, just about 8/10 behind. Speed Alcoholic is going to try and make his way up as well, but Avi is going to have the DRS and Myra is not. That gap just went back up a little bit too much for Myra to get the DRS. But I think it must have been just a small mistake from the Alpine, or maybe a particularly good exit from the McLaren. Speed Alcoholic is already gaining time on Amir just behind. Ayrton as well is looking to get his way past. Lifebout gets himself a time penalty as well. That's the second one of the day already, as they come through turn 4 now. Avi right behind Myra, so it's going to be a 3-way battle for P2. Simps at the moment is just over a second clear, and if these guys start to battle, then he will get even further clear. We've got yellow flags in sector 2. That's ERL Sicario who's at an off and gets a 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits, which seems extremely harsh given he was just getting out of the way of people. So thank you for that one, Codemasters. Amir is back within these guys, and Ayrton and Rick are going to be in with a shout as well. Nath Clark 2.5 seconds down the road. And Sicario drops to P16. Just a sip of water for me. Here comes Speed Alcoholic, but here comes Avi. Meanwhile, round the outside of the Alpine, Myra squeezes him to the white line. Speed Alcoholic's going to get involved. It's going to be 3 wide into turn 1. Speed sets the fastest lap. There's contact between the Mercedes and the Alpine. There's still side by side, but Speed gets his way through, almost barges his way through there at turn 1. Lucky not to have any damage on that Mercedes. Is Myra going to be able to fight back? No, because the South African has the DRS on Avi just ahead. But this is perfect for Simps. He needs to build that gap as much as possible if he has any hope of fending off the likes of Speed Alcoholic and of course NER Ayrton. We can't forget about him on the alternate strategy, as Rick has dropped back a little bit now, so unable to stay within there. Sicario is retired in the pits, clearly has had enough after that spin, and on the last race of the season, I don't blame him. NER Ayrton on the mediums, still chasing this pack. He's doing well, the champion-elect, and he's going to be looking to get past Amir, practically pushing him through the final corner there, but just losing out to the soft grip on the exit, as Speed Alcoholic still trying to get within that range of overtaking. Avi 84 just ahead, and you can see the McLaren as well, who's not too far ahead. That gap has come down considerably since I last looked at it, as Amir is going to maybe size up a move on Myra. Not quite close enough. So the DRS train continues, but Simps's gap has come back down to within a second. So Speed Alcoholic is going to be annoyed about that, because he would have thought he would be able to get past Avi quickly with Simps so far clear, but no, that has not been the case. And in fact, Speed has lost a bit of time there with a poor entry into that long right-hander. Lifts off a tiny bit as they come to the final corner. And that's a really good entry from Speed, but it's not going to be enough because Avi is going to have the DRS, and I think we're going to have a change for the lead here. Here comes the Red Bull. McLaren tries to defend with as much ERS as he can. He's got more than Avi. Avi, in fact, down below 10% now, so Simps could come back at him in towards turn 4, but for the moment, the Red Bull has the position. But Simps, what a much better exit that was out of turn 3. He's right behind the Red Bull, pushes him through. He's going to have the DRS, and it's going to be a simple overtake for the McLaren down towards turn 4. Great stuff from Simps to keep that position. But he does have a 3-second time penalty for track limits, as Rick has lost the position to Nath Clark now, so he's struggling to stay with the rest of the pack. Is the Dutchman still racing fairly well. Myra right behind. Look how close all of these guys are. The top 6 all within a hair's width of each other. As Speed Alcoholic tries to find a way through Avi as soon as he can. Myra is going to be looking to take advantage of this fight, as is Simps, of course, who's going to be hoping these two battle in the slow section so he can make up a gap. He is doing that at the moment. Is Avi going to get DRS? No, he's not. 1.034. Oh, it's going to be very close. I think the Red Bull just about got it. He did, so that was very, very close to Avi almost certainly losing his position there. But Speed stays with him. Here comes Amir as well on Myra. They're side by side through turn 1 and still side by side turn 2, and Amir has made up the place. Great stuff from the Red Bull. Gets up into P4, and now Myra is going to be under pressure from the champion-elect on the medium tyres just behind. Looks like there's no overtakes into turn 4 as of yet, but these 6 still separated by all less than a second, as Myra practically pushes Amir through turns 4 and 5, but unable to make a move. Of course, Speed looks favourite to win, I agree, but knowing Speed, this won't end well. Nah, you haven't seen him on this track. He's insane on this track. I've said it already on this stream. He's very quick. His tyre wear is ridiculous, and he's very consistent on this track as well, unlike other tracks, as you say. But here he comes now. He's in P3. Does Avi have the DRS? It's going to be close again, but he's got it just about. It's so close for the DRS activation, but you can see Speed sees that flashing red light. That means that Avi is low on the battery, and Speed is going to know that he's vulnerable into turn 4 as he goes deep in turn 3. That will be a track limits warning, I'm sure, as here comes Speed again. He's not going to try and make the move, though. He's going to wait for a better opportunity. He knows he doesn't need to pass these guys at the moment. He just needs to stay with them, as we've got an overtake further back. Rick getting past Ayrton 2 for P8, as NER Ayrton still with this chasing pack on the medium tyres. P6, look at this as they all come through. I mean, look at that. You can't ask for a closer battle for the lead. Scott gets himself a time penalty at the back. Unfortunately, Speed Alcoholic again pushing Avi through turn 10 up towards turn 11. Avi makes a mistake and goes deep, and that's going to allow Speed to close up a little bit more, but again, it's not going to be enough because of the DRS from Simps, who is still keeping that race lead for now. But you can see 8%, 7% battery for Avi. He's going to make the move, though. Look at that closing speed of the Red Bull. Down the inside he goes. It's going to be an overtake for Avi for the race lead. He makes it again, but Simps is going to know the Red Bull is vulnerable down towards turn 4. He's going to see the flashing red light, and he knows he can make the move once more, and he does indeed. Uses that extra ERS, and back into the lead goes Simps. It's deja vu from lap number, I think it was 6, when they last did exactly the same thing. These 6 all still nose to tail as we come through sector 2 here. Lap 10, and we've still got 6 cars nose to tail in the battle for the lead. What a brilliant opening to this race this is. The last race of the season in ESRL, but who's that? It's Amir. It's gone. Amir is retired from the race. He's hit the wall. That should be a safety car, I'm sure. It looks like a VSC. I think that means it's a VSC if it doesn't say anything at the top there. But yeah, disaster for the Red Bull. They've already won the championship, of course, the constructors. But Amir just drops it at turn 9. Very easy place to do it. Speed and Avi both into the pits. Simps as well. Speed has got to be careful not to hit the Red Bull. He does hit the Red Bull. I don't think any damage was done. Myra comes in very slowly and it's going to hold up Ayrton quite a lot. You can see Nath Clark is just right behind the AlphaTauri now, thanks to that. Almost every single car in the pits. Oh, it's a full safety car. I can see it out on track. So yeah, good call, Zach. It's difficult to tell when it just gives you a blank a blank outline like that. Yeah, that's always the way to tell, I suppose. As Simps nearly hits the back of the safety car. We saw Simps leading a pack behind a safety car before this season, and we saw him getting very close to hitting said safety car many times. So hopefully he can stay well clear of it this time, so he doesn't give us all a heart attack in the commentary box. H. Geno needs an invite. I will send him one just a second. Sorry to blue screen you, but I think that's okay under the safety car. Well, I send H. Geno an invite. There you are. Hopefully you can get back in, mate. So, under the safety car, we have a chance to relax a little bit. Speed Alcoholic has, by the way, made it up into P2, so he's overtaken Avi at the pit stops, which is massive for the South African, because it means he's no longer going to be in that train, and he's going to be fighting Simps immediately for the race win as soon as the race lead rather, as soon as the safety car comes in. Now, Speed and Simps onto the mediums. I guarantee you, Simps, Myra, Rick, Ayrton 2, Neil, they'll all be in again. They'll all come in again for the softs towards the end. Speed Alcoholic, he's going to go to the end. 100% he will go to the end. I absolutely guarantee it. Unless there's another safety car, he is going all the way. Mark my words, he will win this race by about 20 seconds. Because of that. I hope I haven't cursed him now, but I mean, Zach and I have both seen Speed at this track. And we know how it usually ends. The safety car is out. Someone kicking up a bit of dirt there. I think it should be in this lap. I hope so. About, in fact, exactly 1/3 of the way into this race. All of my intervals have gone, which is very annoying. Can Ayrton on soft stop speed? Yeah, that's the only thing really. It's Ayrton on those soft tyres. He's going to be strapping on a set of mediums towards the end, or maybe 2 sets of softs. The safety car is in this lap, so we're going to wait. We're going to ride on board with Speed to see when Simps punches it. Speed right on the back of the McLaren. Rick has dropped it under the safety car. Disaster for him. He's going to go all the way to the back. But Simps has caught Speed out there a little bit, as Avi unable to take advantage for now, but Myra might be able to. He's very close to the back of the Red Bull, but not quite close enough. Ayrton on those softs, we've got to watch him, as Myra now right behind Avi, pushing him through turn 3, up on the run towards turn 4. Avi has gotten all his ERS back, of course, but he's on the hards, so he's going to really struggle to keep Myra behind. The hards are not great around here, as well, actually that's not true. They're alright around here, but at the moment they're going to be far slower than the mediums, and you can see by how much Avi is losing. And there goes Myra for a dive up the inside at turn 7, I think that is. But it doesn't quite work out, and now vulnerable to NER. Ayrton Womax has gone for a spin further back as well. He's going to drop to the back, so both Williams at the back now. Speed Alcoholic, by the way, 8 tenths down on Simps. What a brilliant first lap after the safety car from the McLaren. Maybe speed is saving tyres, but already a second down. That is not what we expected at all. As Myra now is going to be challenging Avi again in towards turn 1. Ayrton watches on, but they're going to go side by side, these two. Myra and Avi down towards turn 1. The Alpine takes the lead of the two of them. And into P3 goes the Alpine. I think I said the Alpine about 4 times there, so oops. But it's alright. We've got NER Ayrton going for a move on Avi as well. Could it be 2 positions in 3 corners for the Red Bull? It is, unfortunately. And down to P5 he goes. Ayrton on those softs, raring to go, and Avi struggling on the hards, but speed is back within a second, back within 6/10 of the McLaren. I think that gap is going to drop lower and lower. And as soon as the DRS is enabled again, Speed Alcoholic is going to find himself back into the race lead. Much better exit out of that corner in towards turn 11. And the final real corner on the track. And now down towards the line. Speed using the ERS. Actually, I didn't expect this. I thought he would wait. Just a little bit he stays there. But he does stay behind. DRS is enabled, so I think we'll see Speed making the move now. Is Myra going to be able to make the move on Ayrton, who has gotten past the Alpine, by the way? Nath Clark sets the fastest lap for now, further back. But Myra unable to make the move. Is Speed going to make any sort of moves on Simps? He's not going to into turn 4. He's going to wait until turn 1 at the end of this lap. Or the start of the next one, rather. Myra still staying with Ayrton, which is very commendable actually from the Finn. Staying with the champion-elect, who's on soft tyres, better tyres than you at this point in the race. That is no mean feat at all, so great stuff from Myra. Avi is down. Lifebout gets himself another penalty, but Avi is now fighting with Nath Clark, and Nath Clark all the way around the outside. Avi thinking maybe he's made the wrong tyre choice as he plummets down the grid, down to P6 now, and he could end up vulnerable to Ayrton 2 at this rate. Neil gets himself a time penalty as well. We've got Avi trying to make his way past Nath Clark again. I'm going to keep an eye on that gap at the top. In fact, I'm going to switch up to the top, because I think Speed Alcoholic might be able to make a move into turn 4, but Ayrton is behind them now. He's within a second on those soft tyres. You can see him reeling in those top 2. As here comes the Mercedes of Speed. He's still not going to be able to make a move on the McLaren though, so Simps holding off the Interlagos master really well here, as Ayrton is now brought into this battle, and if they battle too much then Myra could be brought back in as well. Has indeed lost all that time to the AlphaTauri now. But if those 3 start battling up ahead, then Myra will be right back in the race. Nath Clark as well could be in it. Ayrton 2 is indeed catching up to Avi, so Avi could be under pressure from an unexpected source. Neil goes side by side with a Ferrari, by the way, as we've got a Haas. That's Lifebout into the wall. Loses an end plate, but no more than that. Very, very lucky not to be worse for the Dutchman. But here comes Ayrton now on Speed Alcoholic, right behind. Simps just getting a brilliant final sector every single lap. Speed Alcoholic can't do anything about it at the moment, and he's under pressure from NER Ayrton. The Dane trying to put pressure on the Mercedes, but there's a mistake from Simps further ahead. You saw him go deep into turn 1, and that could invite Speed to make a move into turn 4. It is going to. Here comes the Mercedes. Ayrton watches on. Here they go into turn 4. What a camera shot that is, as Speed Alcoholic makes his way into the lead of the race. Finally, after starting from P6, after the grid penalty that we don't know if it was fair or not. Neil and Ayrton 2 still side by side as well through turn 4. Neil makes the move back on the Ferrari. Gets his way up into P7. That's good news for Avi as well, these two battling, because it means he can survive and get out of the pressure of them a little bit more. Bored at the back, says Lifebout. I don't blame you, mate. Nath Clark trying to make his pass on Myra as well. Those soft tyres really coming into their own now, as the Haas driver is going to make his way past, I think now, up towards turn 1. He's going to use the ERS, going to use the DRS, the flap opens at the back of the car. We've got to watch Simps though, because he could make a move for the race lead. Doesn't quite do it. We've got to switch back to Nath Clark because he's up into P4. A simple move on the straight. I don't think Myra's going to be able to respond, or are they? As Nath Clark goes a bit deep, but not deep enough. Here comes Simps though. He's going to make the move again. On towards turn 4, Speed Alcoholic tries to hang it down the inside, but it's a brilliant move from the McLaren back into the race lead. I thought Speed would be gone as soon as he got past, but no, Simps is back into the lead of the race, and this McLaren is just not going away for Speed Alcoholic. Ayrton is right there as well, trying to take advantage of all of this, but just unable to make a move as of yet. The being at the back of the DRS train is always difficult. Apologies for my voice there. As Myra is losing time to Nath Clark all the time as well. Ayrton too, trying to stay with Neil. We've got to keep an eye on the race lead, because here comes Ayrton on Speed Alcoholic. I think this is going to be it. The two possibly fastest driving is in ESRL, but no, because Speed is going to be down the inside of Simps. The 3 wide into turn 1. Who's going to take the lead? It's going to be Speed as NER Ayrton gets into P2. Here comes Simps though again. They're still side by side. All 3 of them, they're going to be 3 wide into turn 4. Surely not. That's a terrible camera shot, but that's much better. Speed is going to lose out thanks to the DRS. Simps down the inside of the AlphaTauri. They're still side by side up the hill, up towards turn 5 and 6, but it's Ayrton who takes the lead of the race, and I think is going to be looking to build a gap now, because those soft tyres are not going to last for long, and Ayrton is going to have to come in soon. So he needs to build a gap. Neil gets a 3-second time penalty, but that is huge news for Ayrton. He needed to get his way into the race lead, and that is exactly what he has done. I think those soft tyres are going to be brilliant for him. Now he's made it into the lead. Unless Simps can challenge him into turn 1, but I think he's too far back, 7.5 tenths. Ayrton has got the ERS required to hold him off, and he's going to be under pressure, the McLaren, from Speed Alcoholic pretty soon, as soon as he gets out of that 1 second range. Wow, my voice, I need more water. Lifebout has retired from the session. That's in the pit lane, so no safety car, thankfully. But Simps still within the DRS, but it's not going to be for long. As soon as we get into Sector 2, the McLaren is going to drop a lot further down from the AlphaTauri, and Ayrton is going to hope to build that gap as much as he can before he comes into the pits. But don't forget, I reckon Speed Alcoholic is going to go all the way here. Nath Clark is within range of them, but that's another, I think that's a third 3-second time penalty for him. No, a second one, so he's up to 6 seconds in that Haas. He's not having a good time for track limits, but he is. In terms of his position, he's in P4, he's doing really well. I believe from the back of the grid, Nath Clark started this race. So he's putting on a fantastic drive at the moment. Speed Alcoholic far too far back on Simps, who is really, really fast at this track. Anyone who holds off Speed at this track on the same tyre is very, very good at Interlagos, so fair play to Simps. But Speed could make a move into turn 4, but no, gets a much worse exit out of turn 2, and that should secure the position for now for Simps, but they're already 1.6 seconds down on the champion-elect. No worries, Lifebout, see you later, as Myra gets their way past Nath Clark for P4 again, so those softs starting to lose out to the mediums now. Neil is retired, and that's on the straight. I think that's a safety car. It is. I can see the stricken car on the straight up towards the pit lane, and that is fantastic news for NER Ayrton. We're going to see him come into the pits. He's not going to lose, he's barely going to lose any time thanks to that safety car. What a brilliant piece of timing that is for the champion-elect. Are we going to see Simps and Speed Alcoholic come into the pits as well, I wonder? Have to wait and see. Well, it's right on board with Ayrton. I'm sure he's going to come in using ERS for some reason. He does come in. Simps also in. Speed also in. So all 3 of them into the pits. Simps gets a 5-second penalty for speeding, so that's going to set him back even more. Myra in, Nath Clark in. Is Womack's going to be in as well? He's recovered well after his spin earlier. He is indeed into the pits. I think we'll see everyone realistically coming to the pits now. I think that's HGNO's AI. Scott into the pits, Rick into the pits. Yeah, everyone in for fresh tyres. Ayrton still in the lead, but Ayrton, Simps and Speed all going on the soft tyres to the end of this race. This is going to be brilliant. Three-way battle for the race lead between three drivers who I think are pretty similar on pace realistically around this track. Simps, of course, with the 8 seconds of penalties, that's really going to hold him back, and I think realistically put him out of this battle for the race lead. I will send HGNO one more invite, but that's the last one, mate. There you go, mate. So it's a blue screen, everyone. Hope you can get back in the session, mate. The safety car should present an opportunity for you. Avi also on the soft tyres. We've kind of forgotten about Avi after he went on the hards at the previous safety car, which is a huge mistake. He tumbled down the order. He's down to P6 now, but he's still within a shout actually on those softs. Myra and Nath Clark are going to be much slower on those mediums for a while. Rumack's also on the softs. Everyone else apart from Scott on the mediums. Scott is obviously knows how far those tyres go. They will definitely go 14 laps if you treat them well. And, these two safety cars have been a huge help to NER Ayrton, that is for sure. If Speed can clear Simps, it's his race to lose. Well, yeah, but we saw in the previous stint that Simps is not an easy man to overtake. It's all going to be about this orange McLaren. He may not be in the battle for the race lead directly, but he's certainly going to affect it, despite those penalties, because if he can keep Speed behind, then Ayrton will be gone, I think. And PS is dead. Sorry to hear that, man. Hopefully you can get yourself in for next season. Safety car is in this lap, so we're going to have 14 laps of green flag racing, unless we have another one, of course. But here is Ayrton. I don't even know how Neil managed to lose it there. That was such a weird place to crash. But anyway, Ayrton leads the pack. I'm going to ride on board with Simps to see when the AlphaTauri goes. Oh no, Simps has dropped it. That's huge for the battle for the race lead. He's done a George Russell, and now Speed Alcoholic is clear to chase after Ayrton. He's lost out the safety car restart, but he's still within 6/10. They're pretty much equal on ERS, so this is going to be the battle for the race lead. Nath Clark and Myra side by side into turn one, but Myra keeps the position for now. Speed has got to stay with the AlphaTauri here. He cannot drop out of that 1 second range before the DRS is back enabled. And at the moment he's struggling. We saw him struggle on the first lap of the previous stint as well. Nath Clark gets past Myra, and Avi tries to get through his Nath Clark has in fact just slowed right down. I don't know what's happened to the Haas, but he's down to the back of the grid, and Avi is up to P4 with Myra. Oh, sorry, there's more drama here. I think there might have been contact. Avi, does he have damage in that Red Bull? He's let Womack's through. I don't know what's happened there. Something weird has happened. But Speed Alcoholic is losing time to NER Ayrton already. 1.2, but we saw this on the previous stint as well. He didn't have a good first lap after the safety car came in. So are we going to see him put his foot to the floor and try and get back within a second of that AlphaTauri? We've got a yellow flag. That's Nath Clark again, who's had a spin, and his race has gone from bad to worse, as well as Simps, who's now right at the back. Womack gets another time penalty. That's up to 6, I believe. Speed Alcoholic not able to make up that time. Ayrton clearly just a step too far at the moment for the South African. We know how fast he is around this track, but that safety car has absolutely destroyed his plans. I think if it weren't for that safety car, it would have been an easy win this race for Speed Alcoholic, but it's come at a perfect time for NER Ayrton, who is now 1.5 seconds clear. We've got battles going on further back. H. Geno and Rick side by side as they come through Sector 2. Rick making the position for now as Moti Padets goes for a move as well down the inside. Doesn't quite get it to work. H. Geno still chasing after Rick. Sorry, that's H. Geno's AI. I don't know what I'm talking about. Moti Padets just trying to clear that AI as Simps gets past his teammate up to P10 as Avi and Womack swap positions again. Avi up to P4, fairly comfortable for the Red Bull. And he has made it back within range of the podium positions, because Myra is on those medium tyres and it's going to be much slower for a while than the Red Bull. It'll even up towards the end, but if Avi can take advantage of the superior tyre now, then he'll be well in with a shout of a podium today. We've got Simps getting past H. Geno further back. They're still side by side up the hill towards turn 6. I think it's going to be Simps. Down the inside he goes, and it's going to be a great move from the McLaren on the AI of H. Geno. I keep forgetting that that's not actually H. Geno. Simps now tries to get his way past Moti Padets. Not able to right now, but Moti goes very deep with a huge lockup into turn 10. And I think that's going to be the overtake done and dusted for the McLaren. It is indeed. Gets up into P8 to try and charge his way back up into the top 6 after that embarrassing spin under the safety car. There's not really any other word for it, unfortunately. Avi is now within a second of Myra, so that podium charge is on as Ayrton is increasing that gap to Speed. Speed, we know how fast he is at this track, but I mean that just proves just how much faster Ayrton is than everyone else in ESRL. If he's even beating Speed at Interlagos on pure pace, that's just ridiculous. But here comes Avi. This is going to be the real battle, I think. The battle for the podium between Avi and Myra. Avi, of course, with the advantage for now. But towards the end of this race, those softs are going to start to struggle, and Myra will be right back in it. So a fascinating battle for the podium this could turn out to be. We've got yellow flags in Sector 1 and 2. We've got Nath Clark coming to a stop, but here comes Avi. Meanwhile, on Myra, they're side by side, and Avi makes the move with the DRS round the outside. Can Myra take the position back, though, up to turn 4? Moti gets a 3-second time penalty, but Myra's too far back to take that position, and has just got to hope to stay within DRS range for as long as possible. As Moti now gets past Scott, there's contact further back, and Scott is sent round. I think not enough space left by Moti, but of course, I mean, I've only seen it from one view. Nath Clark is still going incredibly slowly. I have no idea what he's doing. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie to you. I do not know what this man is doing. But all right. Speed Alcoholic still staying within 1.92 second range of Ayrton, but not catching the AlphaTauri anytime soon. Myra still within DRS of Avi, so this podium fight still on as Simps now gets past Rick, who goes, I think Rick just let him by there, just saying, alright, you are not in my race. I just want to finish P8 today. Fair enough. Very clean, sensible racing from the Dutchman, like we know. He's already won a race today. He doesn't need another win. But having said that, he makes the move back on Simps, so maybe it was just for DRS, as I don't think it's going to last for long. Simps back again with the DRS up towards turn 4. Another time penalty for Nath Clark. He comes into the pits and will surely retire. They're side by side, these two again, as Rick is not giving this up, actually. Here comes Simps around the outside, but Rick stays there. Side by side, up the hill they come. Simps gets another time penalty, which is music to the ears of the Williams, of course. But eventually makes his way through. I think that will be that for that particular battle. Myra still within a second of Avi up in that battle for the podium. Speed has dropped a lot to Ayrton on this lap. Maybe a small mistake from the Mercedes. I was about to say Ayrton doesn't make mistakes, but he does. We've seen him make mistakes this season, but not while he's leading a race, we haven't. But Myra still within that DRS, but clearly losing time now to the Red Bull. There's 7 laps to go in this race, so Myra really needs to stay within that range at this point, because it's going to give them a huge advantage later on. And they're also going to see that flashing red light on the Red Bull. Avi again with the under par. No, that's not right, is it? Because under par is good. But the poor ERS management from the Red Bull, we saw it earlier in the race. Way down on battery compared to everyone else, and we're seeing it again here. Myra on 70%, Avi down on 30, and it's going to be down less than 10 later on. H-Geno's AI has come into the pits, which is odd. We've got, is that a spinner? No, that's Nath Clark again. What is he doing? I have no idea. Simps and Rick still battling. Simps again, but Rick has gone for a spin, is reset to track. That is, if Scott, if you're watching this, he has definitely been reset automatically there. I know that happens if you go off at that particular part of the track, but Simps has done exactly the same, it seems, and Rick goes back through. So the two of them making it the same mistake, it seems. And yeah, wow, Nath Clark finally retires from the session, but it's at turn 2 and causes a safety car. So, yeah, okay, sure. Yeah, he's crashed into the wall. I think Scott will be having a good look at that one, because that's just... he was just driving around at 30 mile an hour and not doing anything, and then crashes into the wall and causes a safety car. It's just not really on, to be honest. And we know he's definitely not AI, because H-Geno is AI and he's driving fast. So it's definitely not that. I don't know what he's doing. But anyway, that's not for me to decide. The safety car is out on track. So Ayrton could lose out. Speed Alcoholic fakes to go in the pit lane, doesn't actually. I'm not sure why, because Ayrton's not going to be looking behind him. Maybe just to make himself feel better as he comes around. But he does stay on the soft tyres. It's going to make it easier to get them to the end, of course. Those on the mediums are going to struggle now to take advantage of their better tyre towards the end of the race, not least the Alpine of Myra, who's going to be annoyed to see this safety car, because they'll know that the more laps those softs have to do, the better chance Myra will have of getting a podium today. Simps has retired from the race. That's in the pit lane, I believe. Well, I can't see his car. I can't see an orange dot on the track other than Scott, so I don't know what's happened there. We've got 6 retirements from this race. So clearly Interlagos being a bit of a struggle for our drivers. Yeah, I mean, Nath Clark, I have no further comment. I said everything that I wanted to say. Reminds me of VK and Harry Bix. Oh god, yeah, I remember that. Yeah, that was awful. Zach, you should check out the TR1 stream from today. It was a really good race. It's in live streams. The live streams channel in APP. But yeah, we do have a safety car. Avi currently sitting in P3. Main threat is Myra, of course, because Ayrton and Speed in a league of their own today. Ayrton arguably in a league of his own, then Speed, and then everyone else. But that fight for the podium still going strong. Yeah, we miss you too, mate, but you know, duty calls and all. Don't blame you for taking better opportunities. I hope it's all going well for you. I haven't caught up in a while. But yeah, we had 19 car grid today, which is fantastic. But yeah, we're going to get 3 laps of racing, I think, if Scott and HGNO's AI can catch back up. It's going to be tight. HGNO's AI just about coming through turn 7. Safety car is in this lap, thankfully, so we will get 3 racing laps and we will have DRS enabled on the final lap, which is very exciting. Can Speed stay within range of the AlphaTauri ride on board with the Mercedes? And he's punched it, Ayrton. He's already gone. Speed Alcoholic caught out a little bit, I think. Not enough to fall out of range, but nearly made himself vulnerable to Avi there. Myra gets a good restart as well, trying to stay on track with these guys. Womack as well in P5. He is driving fantastically towards the end of the season. He's doing really well, the Bulgarian. But it is Myra who's going to be challenging for that last spot on the podium because of those penalties for the Williams. Moti Perez gets past Rick as well further back. Speed is right within Ayrton at the front of the grid. 34 of 36, 3 laps to go. Rick gets past Moti, who has a spin. Luckily, everyone behind avoids the Ferrari, so no more drama to come at the end of this race, thankfully. But he does go all the way to the back, the Israeli. We've still got battles going on. Speed is back down, 6/10 down. He needs to stay within a second before the last lap because he will have DRS at the end if he can do it. Avi already losing out to them. 9/10 is the gap. He's desperately trying to use that battery to get within the DRS and stay there for the last lap to make him not vulnerable to Myra, but the Alpine also using a lot of ERS to stay with him and could be vulnerable to Womack in the end as well. If this continues, we're on lap 35 now, 2 laps to go in this race. Avi just about sticking with the top 2, but how long will that last? Myra still staying with him as well, and the ERS management is now going to pop for the both of them, as well as Speed Alcoholic 40% to Ayrton 70, so I think this race win, it could be done and dusted here. We are going to have DRS up to turn 4, but that's going to be it, nothing up to turn 1. So it's going to be really tricky for Speed Alcoholic unless he makes up a huge amount of time in this next few corners, but I think he's going to be resigned to his fate now of finishing second place in this race. Ayrton just too quick in these latter stages on those soft tyres. Of course, the safety cars have really helped out the champion-elect, but he's going to end this season with a win as Rick gets past Womack, who must have made a mistake there because he's dropped a lot of time in a very short space of the track. Here comes Myra on Avi. DRS is enabled, as I said. Speed is too far back to make a challenge for the lead, but can Myra get on the podium on the last lap? Here we go. Needs a really good exit here. That's not good enough for the Alpine. As he comes down with DRS up towards turn 4, it's not going to be enough. It's too much is the gap, and unless Avi makes a mistake, it is going to be a podium for the Red Bull. We've got to watch speed as well, still staying with Ayrton. Scott gets past Ayrton 2 further back meanwhile. So great stuff from the McLaren, but of course those penalties not going to help his case. Rick gets another time penalty, and we'll have a look at the penalty situation. Actually, it's 9 seconds for Rick, so he's lost out on a top 5 position thanks to that. He would have beaten Womack's to P5, but unfortunately that's just too much. They are going to have DRS on this final straight of the race. I don't think Myra is close enough though. NER Ayrton comes across the line to emphatically win the Brazilian Grand Prix. What an end to a brilliant season for the AlphaTauri. Just far, far too fast for everyone else this season. Avi nearly gets P2 in the end from speed. Didn't expect that. A few mistakes from speed at the end. The penalties shake out. Ayrton 2 gets in the top 5 with Scott in P6. That's a great result for the McLarens, for the McLaren singular. Womack's P7, Rick down in P8, really paying for that extra penalty. But great race there to end off Season 2 of ESRL. Ghost whipped out the Thesaurus for that one. Yeah, I've got my handy racing Thesaurus handy all the time. But it is Ayrton who yet again takes the top step of the podium, with Speed Alcoholic in P2 and Avi in P3. Great result for the Israeli in the Red Bull. And that will be that for Season 2 of ESRL. Of course, there's going to be a sprint season before the new game. So keep an eye out for that. But for today, there is your final standings. And the final leaderboard. Ayrton takes the win yet again, with fastest lap as well. And Speed Alcoholic in P2. A valiant effort from him on a track he absolutely adores, but the safety cars just coming out at the wrong times for the South African. Avi in P3, a strong result for him. Myra in P4 just couldn't get their way onto the podium in the end. Ayrton 2, the Greek driver, in P5, great result for him. Scott P6 as well, I think that's his best of the season. Womack's in P7 after penalties. Rick drops to P8. H. Geno's AI in P9 and Motipadet's P10, and then everyone else, Simps, Nath Clark, Neil, Lifebout, Amir and Sicario, all failing to finish the race. A brutal round of ESRL today in Interlagos, but a great result. Well done to everyone who finished. Well done to our podium, and thank you everyone who watched along. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this whole season of ESRL. Congratulations to the champions again, Ayrton and the drivers, and Red Bull for the constructors. That's Avi and Amir. We will, in theory, be back for the ESRL Sprint Championship as we close out F1 2021 in the next month or so. It's not far away, is it? The new game. So I'll join you for that. But in the meantime, thank you everyone for watching. I'll see you later. And I've been Ghost. Have a great weekend.